Knights Academy. Training's in session.
Go ahead.
The first thing, we're gonna take the two guys into a separate room.
Okay. The captain's quarters or the mess hall would work. Which one would be... Or the kitchen. Those are the three rooms that are easily sectioned off.
Which one does he not mind having a mess in?
Well, the kitchen's used to having blood and mess on the floor, so... Go with
Okay,
the
then.
kitchen.
We'll put them in the kitchen.
Alright.
I need to make sure they're tied securely,
Okay.
naked. Or,
Okay.
I don't really intend on doing anything to, the genital area, because I just don't
Okay.
care enough.
So exposing his heart boxers again.
Yeah, that's fine. Both of them.
Okay.
If they have any tattoos, I'm going to take a knife and scrape them off. Basically, I'm trying to make sure they don't have access to spells.
Okay.
That's why the other guy is going to be, like the mage one, going to be gagged.
Okay.
Right away. I'll blindfold him in a minute, that's fine. And I need his hands to be, separate from each other so that they can't come together.
Okay. So, tied to the chair.
Yeah. I'm trying to eliminate any, somatic components, any way that he has to attempt to cast a spell, because I saw that he was casting suggestion, intermixing it, so clearly he has an idea of what he's doing. I'm going to go through the motions to prevent all of that.
Okay. You'll be able to do that. Give me an arcane check as you're preparing the two of them in this way. You will realize that the knight, while he does have some spell-like abilities that you've seen, he is not based on a wizard spellcasting.
That's fine.
Okay.
Also,
in fact, you actually kind of... Give me a religion check, actually, in addition to that, because that's along the lines of... Alright, you definitely tell that he has some type of bond to an otherworld patron of some sort, aka he has warlock tendencies.
Okay. Okay.
They are
Where were
facing
we?
each other, tattoos stripped, no arcane focuses. You have made sure that outside of their skivvies, there is nothing on them, and you've made sure that what's under the skivvies is an arcane focus. There is no Prince Albert arcane focus.
Junk and arcane focus. Props.
I have a Prince Albert arcane focus.
Yeah. Prestidigitation while you're having sex.
Make it hot or cold.
If given that you said you're recording now, just for the sake of continuity, I need wood splinters, preferably 1 to 4 inches long and somewhat thick.
Okay.
An amount of string. Basically, I'm gonna tie them and make fingernails out of them.
Okay. The string will be a little harder to procure. However, they'll just have to look around a little bit and see if they can find that. However, the wood splinters, there was enough damage during the combat that there is splinters of varying sizes.
Yeah.
What are they taking apart, Kayla?
Dabson has a movie case.
Okay.
And then I needed to make sure I have a spoon.
Well, you're in the kitchen.
Yeah, not that big of an issue. Basically, if I'm in the kitchen utensils.
Okay.
And then the captain and I are allowed to be in this room right away. Everybody else has to wait outside.
Okay.
If anybody wants to pitch a fit about that, I will explain at the very least to the sailors that in order for this to work out properly, all of their focus has to be on me.
Okay. The captain does say that he wants at least one witness in the room for the whole time. Just so that, well, for legal reasons, basically.
The other guy doesn't count as a witness?
No, he wants somebody on your side. The captain is willing to do that. He doesn't mind standing up. Huh?
Does he have a strong stomach?
He's ex-military, so he probably has a stronger stomach than most.
All right.
He promises he will not get involved, but he wants to. He wants to just make sure that you have somebody to validate what you're saying in case they try to be like, "Oh, he did this," and you didn't actually do that. Because technically, the little guy's a noble.
Okay. Fair enough.
So he's being the captain of the ship. He has the most rights on there, so he can validate you better than anybody else. Basically, he's trying to cover your ass.
Okay. I can trust that. And then
He even tells you, like, when you blindfold him, because you've talked about that, he'll just stay in the corner and face away if he can't handle it. He just wants to be in there for it. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, we could probably go ahead and blind. Nah, we'll leave the noble with sight at the moment. I'm gonna pull up a chair
Okay.
and sit down in front of the bigger guy. Hi. So here's what's about to happen. The captain here and myself are gonna ask you a series of questions. If you answer all of those questions to our satisfaction and without hesitation, I'll work you over a little bit with my quarterstaff here so that you can save some face for your friends before we execute you. And that'll be that. If you decide not to, if you hesitate, lie, tell me to go fuck myself, anything in that general principle, the captain will probably turn around and then I'm going to get to work on you. The first thing I'm going to do is cut out your tongue so that you know deep within your very marrow that the time for reasonable men to be reasonable has passed, that I no longer give a good goddamn what it is that you have to say. Do you understand?
He'll nod.
Captain?
Captain nods. Proceed.
Alright. First question. Why were you trying to rob this ship?
He takes a breath. My name is Valerian. Knights, Arcane Knight rank 3. You will get nothing else from me.
Fair enough. Captain, would you be so kind as to blindfold our nobleman here?
The captain will nod.
And then I'm gonna pull out a, pair of tongs so that I can pry this dude's mouth open. I'm gonna grab his tongue, I'm gonna take my dagger, and I'm gonna slowly cut his tongue off.
Okay, he is definitely grunting and screaming in pain. Like, not screaming, but, like...
Not yet. Hopefully, anyways.
Gurgling noise. So, just kind of, having issues breathing with it, because that's definitely what would be caused by that. And, yeah.
Then I'm gonna lean in, I'm gonna look at him, and I go, I'll tell you the truth. I'm kind of glad that you decided to do that. Also, the whole me cutting your tongue off thing, 1 was to keep you from being able to talk. 2, I really don't like it when people try to kill themselves in the middle of this, so it's just one less way.
He just raises an eyebrow at you.
Swallowing your tongue and whatnot. You see, for a long time, I thought that maybe I was really good at scaring people. That I was that shadow that crawled along their wall in the middle of the night while they were trying to sleep, or the monster that hid under the stairs, or the demon that clawed his way up out of hell. But now I've realized I'm not the shadow. I'm the darkness. I'm not a monster. I'm your nightmare. And I'm not a demon. Because I'm hell. And you've just pissed me off. And then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna slowly, like, tie the fingernails on.
Nice monologue, by the way.
Thank you.
Alright, you're gonna take your hand and place it.
I'm gonna tie the wood planks onto my thumbs.
Okay.
Like this. And then I'm gonna grab his head. So that my thumbs are right above his eyes. Actually, wait, before I do this, before I do what I was just about to describe, I'm gonna take out my dagger and I'm going to carve the names of every single crew member that died onto his chest.
Okay.
Hey, Matt.
Not so deep that it's going to kill him,
What's your cook?
but deep enough that even with a cure spell, it's going to be a permanent scar.
Okay. So enough that it's gonna... It'll probably take away about half his hit points doing that, but you could do it.
Okay. I'm going to also be monitoring him if I need to dump a cure spell into him in order to keep him alive.
Okay. You'll do that.
Also going to be working slowly enough, trying to elicit as large of a response from his vocal cords as I possibly can.
Okay.
Oh, and for what it's worth, Warwick is in the room with me.
Okay. He's probably enjoying it.
And then, now that, you know, he's bleeding, probably panting a little bit, etc., I'm gonna tie on the fingernails, the makeshift fingernails, grab him by the head so that my thumbs are right above his eyes.
Okay.
Place them, like, so that they're just barely touching his eyes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say, I'm going to close my eyes. If you jerk forward at all, you go blind. And then I'm going to motion to Warwick to, you know, do the whole rat thing again.
Oh boy. Let me pull up his character sheet, because I'm going to need that. He is able to stand fast, but just barely. Just barely. He's definitely... He's still got some will with that. That's a good way to put it. Shouldn't that make you happy?
Oh, no, absolutely. I just want to see how this is actually going to work. I don't want it to do any damage. Never mind. Okay. Now, Warwick's been a rat.
Warwick has been around, yes.
Yeah. Can Warwick turn... I'm going to ask him, can he turn into a spider?
Yes, he can. That is one of the things he can turn into.
That's what I thought.
It should list the things he can transform into on his sheet.
Okay. Rat. Raven. Or a spider. Okay, yeah. What kind of spider?
The creepy gangly kind, which is all of them. Let's say something kind of like a tarantula slash like a brown, like wolf spider type thing. Just a really creepy, hairy kind.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have poison with it, so.
No, I'm not asking him to poison anything. I'm just going to, the slow, consistent crawl up the body.
Okay.
Maybe a leg accidentally jerks into one of the wounds.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Oh,
So
Warwick
he goes
is
from having a rat in his pants to a spider crawling all over him.
Warwick is enjoying the heck out of this.
Yeah.
I knew you could be a fun guy.
Oh. Absolutely. And then, like, there's a couple of things that I have in mind for this. How in depth do you want me to go with the actual torture?
As in depth as you wish. This is your roleplay.
Okay. Eventually, and this could take a while, because, I want him to be in pain and bleeding and, whatnot, just with what we've done. I might get a little bit bored, and so I'll probably just, even while holding his head, just, start scratching his irises a little bit.
Okay. He winces. You can little noises, but he's still trying to keep his composure. He seems to be aware of what you're trying to do.
Oh, what am I trying to do?
He is trying to not make noise right now. Let me go with that, phrasing it that way instead.
Okay.
Because you did not blindfold him, so, right?
No.
So he can see the fact that the other one is not blindfolded. That his master is not blindfolded.
Is blindfolded.
Or is blindfolded and can only hear. So he is trying not to make noise so as to not scare him. You could tell that is part of his concentration on it.
Alright. Is there a meat mallet?
Yes, there is.
I'll stand up and I'll be like, well done. You lasted longer than most people do. And then I'm going to go over there, pick up the meat mallet, walk up, and go, I wonder. And I'm going to bring it down on top of his left big toe.
Okay. You'll notice the captain will jump for sure on that one. He will fail. He will definitely let out... No, that's the knight. The captain, jumps because he didn't expect it. But the knight will fail, and he will let out a cry of pain as that crushes his toe very thoroughly. Bye, Chloe.
I'll wait for a second. I'll just sit there and look at him while he's screaming. Once he sort of starts to calm down a little bit.
It takes a little longer than you think it should, given the fact that that was a natural one.
Right. And then I'm going to do it to his other one.
Warwick is laughing. You can actually hear the spider laughing. Except it sounds kind of demonic. And the captain's just assuming it's part of something because you're magical, He doesn't seem to pay too much heed to it, but he's definitely take note of that. Continue.
Eventually, I'm going to basically just do all of his toes.
Okay. He will definitely give a cry out of pain in every single one. because natural ones. He also has disadvantage on anything you do now for Constitution, because he's already kind of starting to crack.
Cool.
Alright, so the little guy... Oh, stop! What do you want to know? Just ask questions! God damn it! Or the gods damn it!
Okay. As loud as I possibly can. Do I really strike you as the kind of person that gives a fuck what the gods think?
He doesn't answer. He's just more like, well, just ask questions. Just stop. I'll tell you what you want to know.
It's not your turn.
The knight does try to say something. Forgetting he didn't have a tongue there for a second.
I told you, I don't care what you think. What is it you're trying to ask for? Is it mercy? Hang on.
He shakes his head no.
Good. Maybe you're not quite as stupid as I thought.
You could actually communicate with him in his head, couldn't you? If you wanted to, but you
Yeah,
haven't.
if I want to, I don't care enough to. At this point, I'm just mad. Also, remember that one guy is still gagged, so I don't know, I mean, if we can understand him through the gag, that's fine.
Actually, you heard it in your head.
Oh, okay. Then I will still have yelled it back towards him. And then, I'll go, you really don't get what's happening right here, do you? Yeah, we need a little bit of information, but at this moment, I'm making a point. That every single time somebody decides that it's a good idea to attack someone that's come under my protection, this is what's gonna happen. And you, and I'll point at the big guy again, you're actually the lucky one. Because you just serve as a warning. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. But your friend, that chick, I'm going to carve her to pieces, bring her back, and do it again and again and again and again. Look into my eyes and see that I'm telling you the truth.
It's intimidating as fuck, dude. Yeah, give me an intimidation check with that, actually. At advantage. Yeah, no, that's... Give me a perception check, because you're facing the knight right now. Yeah, that's still enough. You can hear water running from behind you.
Fair enough.
As the halfling is pissing himself in fear.
At which point I'll probably go, no, you know, I should calm down. You've seen enough. Welcome to my world. Welcome to the darkness. And I'm just gonna grab his head and slowly just dig those nails into his eyes. Slowly.
Disadvantage, Constitution. He is able to resist the whole screaming thing this time, but not very well.
Okay. And when I'm done, after I've poked them, I'm going to take the spoon and dig them out.
Okay. That's where the captain actually will throw up. Like, there's no Constitution saving throw on that one. He is going to lose his lunch on that.
Okay. Now, for the sake of keeping this to a PG, to a lighter R rating, I'm gonna keep this up for about an hour.
Still on the night?
Huh?
Still on the night?
Yeah.
Just torturing the hell out of him? Okay.
Torturing the hell out of him for an hour. It's
You will
free.
have to use your heal on him
Okay, that's fine.
if you keep it up for an hour. In fact, by the time it's probably about 45 minutes into it that you feel you have to stop or you will kill him. Just because of a combination of psychological, like he's gone into shock a couple times, bodily harm.
Fair enough.
So you'll get a good portion of the way through, but he isn't as tough as you were hoping he was.
And now, as he's, just kind of there, lightly, just barely holding on to his life, I will walk up to the little guy, rip off his blindfold, and just let him view it while I go outside to get some air.
The captain goes out with you very quickly as well.
At which point, I will look at the captain and go, it's safe to assume he'll answer whatever questions you have.
Pretty sure he was ready to do that an hour ago. I need a couple minutes. But I will go back in and talk to him then. And I'm sure all I have to do is just, if he refuses, just say that I'll bring you back in.
Cool. And then I will go and, mourn-esque with the others.
Okay.
But, I wanted to make this very clear from the offset that, one, they probably knew that this was an intimidation tactic against the little guy, but at the same time, I'm upset, and I'm taking out a lot of my anger on him.
Yeah, the big guy was trying to help with that. And if you would have gleamed through his mind, he was asking for mercy for the little guy, not him. So.
Okay. Can I roll like an insight check to see it in his eyes at any point?
That's definitely like he's already committed. You can tell that he's committed himself to death on this one already. That he's letting you take it all out on him rather than the little one.
Okay. At which point, when I kind of slowly, when I see this, I might even be like, "You're worried about him?" Does he nod or anything?
Yeah. Well, his eyes glance. Well, depends on when you cut out the eye. If it was before you cut out his eyes,
let's just say for the sake of argument that it was.
He would look over at him, but he wouldn't actually respond.
I'm trying to remember what the exact quote is. There's a part in Rob Zombie's 31 where one of the guys asks Doomhead for mercy for her friends, and Doomhead's like, at what point do you even think that's a possibility? If I strike you as the kind of guy that's going to give him mercy, then I really need to work on my person-to-person demeanor.
Well, you might have to do that anyway. Working on your person-to-person demeanor. That is.
If he cooperates, then maybe they'll just give him a quick death. But so help me, if he even stumbles over a word, everything I've done to you, I'm gonna do to him again.
And I'm sure that's all verbal.
Yeah, and then I'm going to hoist your rotting, still breathing carcasses up on this mast for the world to see.
And, that's pretty specific.
Yeah, they're gonna have, it'll be rare that people will find a bone in his body that hasn't been broken. His fingernails are gonna be snapped off.
Yeah, so he's borderline death anyway.
Reasonably speaking, there's no coming back from what I've done to him.
Not without a lot of magic and counseling.
Yeah. Because, on the one hand, yes, I'm trying to break his body. I'm also doing my utmost to break his spirit.
And I think you're succeeding on that.
And just fucking warp his mind. And, again, for the sake of not being too graphic, and because I've only been up for an hour and a half, that's probably just a good resting pulse to say. And, I don't know how many Constitution saves you're going to want to have
To have him roll.
but I want him to be screaming as loud as possible for as long as possible.
Everybody on board is aware of it all.